Guys, it's Tua Tuesday, and you know what that means. It's an early one today, as we're going to break down the all 22 of Tua Tagovailoa's performance against the New York Jets. Hey, he was super efficient. We'll go over how effective the game plan was as well to get the ball out of his hands quick, to mask the offensive line, and really be an extension of the run game, how it drew defenders up, and how they hit him over the top. We'll go over all that. Plus, Mike McDaniel tells the media to shut the F up. Chris Brooks is activated today, and that means JPP is already waived. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new. Fins up, and you know what time it is. Let's get into this.
Loses the football. Touchdown! You have got to be kidding me. Jalen Waddle has a Dolphin touchdown. And he will score. Field on the near side, man open. Touchdown! The run from Tua Tagovailoa. Touchdown! He's going deep. He's got it over the touchdown. He's in.
Beautiful day to be a Dolphin fan. Let's go! What is good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason, and we are back here for another one, another Tua Tuesday, about to go into the book. Shout out to everyone in the chat, PL, Pro Special, the Bornik, and by the way, to answer your question, the Bornik, you cannot get a percentage of ownership. That is not allowed currently in the NFL. That's what the whole issue with Caleb Williams trying to come out is. Shout out to Elias, John Featherland, Chef Jew, Robert Thompson, Aladino, Mario Gonzalez, Andrew Harris, Kel A, King, Musa Man. Shout out to all of you. Mo knows. Every single one of you in the chat. Kyle, Larry, Lockridge, Jeff Premont, Ricky. What's going on, everyone? Got over 100 of you already in the chat. Shout out, Fins up, Jaggernaut. Martin, we got a couple things to get into before we get into the film. A little bit of news to cover here. Let's start off with interesting comments. I didn't have a chance to cover it yesterday because it happened while I was live, so I wanted to make sure we covered it today. I don't know if you happened to hear what Mike McDaniel said in his presser yesterday, but let me play this clip for you, and then we'll go over our thoughts on this, because he told the media to shut the F up, and here's the context of why.
You know, I instructed the players to anything other than concerning yourself with the next opponent, which for us is the Dallas Cowboys, and any other narrative that has to do with good teams or playoff seeds or the next 3 games, all that stuff. I gave them the clearance to tell all members of the media to, with all due respect, because all we're focused on is the Dallas Cowboys, and they definitely deserve our attention. So as we clean up our game from the previous, we'll be thinking about that, and the narratives will be what they be, and not really concerned. Know that that's going to exist, but it's really inconsequential for what we're trying to do.
Coaching.
So there you go. He basically told the media to F off regarding the narratives and all the stuff we're gonna hear. That's my head coach, baby. I love him. But he ain't lying, right? Like you got to be able to, you know, as an athlete, as a professional athlete, you got to be able to block out that noise, focus on the task at hand, TCB, take care of business, because what he said is right. Everything that's spoken in the media is inconsequential to what they have to get done. And they're the only ones who control what have to get done. They control their destiny. I've said this all the time. You win out here, you get the number 1 seed. You control your destiny. Don't let another team control your fate. What are your thoughts on McDaniel's comments there? Because, you love seeing a little spunk from the coach, late here and getting in the late stages of December. What are your thoughts?
I thought that was actually extremely unique because when it comes to local media as opposed to national media, there is an ability to maintain a preference, right?
Mhm.
And what I mean by that is the local media can control its own narrative in house. And when Mike Daniel is basically saying any questions that has ties to national media, he's politely suggesting for the local media to keep other people's narratives out of your mouth. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
focus on what the players are being trained and advised to concentrate on as far as what to speak about. If the local media can play their part in this, because pretty much that's what this is, right?
Yeah.
If the local media can play their part in keeping the players focused as well, they get their flowers as well. But the ones that come out and want to play, devil's advocate or shoot from the hip or whatever, if we can control internally, eventually the internal will become external when it comes to our narrative becoming more important than the national narrative. So I loved every bit of what Mike McDaniel put on the plate right there. I loved it.
Listen, my listen, like I tweeted out today, you hear the one narrative about Tua in December. Well, Tua so far in December, 76.5 completion percentage, 744 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, no interceptions, and a 116.5 passer rating. Sure, they should be 3-0, not 2-1. But even like that narrative is nonsense about Tua not being able to play in December. I mean, we saw what he did against Buffalo last year. We saw how good he looked against Green Bay before he got hurt. And what you say is right. Like locally, you have a chance to really control those narratives. And man, all you can do is focus on the teams in front of you one at a time. And getting, because what's going to be what he's kind of alluding to too is the whole Buffalo nonsense, right? And he's saying, don't get lost in the fact of that Buffalo game could be for the division. Focus on what's in front of you. If you handle what's in front of you, this division could be wrapped up in 2 weeks, right? And because you see people like I saw some people trying to claim Buffalo's the favorite right now to win the AFC East, and like you go to any betting site, I want someone to find me a betting site where the Buffalo Bills are the favorite right now. That's the delusion people are going through right now to try and fearmonger in the fan base. And I think that's what he's talking, like don't get caught up, because if the Bills win again, you know what the story's going to be, right? And it's don't get caught up on all the outside nonsense around you, because it's going to be coming everywhere right now.
Correct.
So, man, you got to appreciate it. And
then that's leadership. That's leadership.
Yeah, it is. That is. And then also, before we get into the film here too, the Miami Dolphins officially activated Chris Brooks off IR today, and they waived Jason Pierre-Paul. So that experience looked good for one episode of Hard Knocks, and it's over. Melvin Ingram's back. Hey, that's crazy. Already waive JPP. Now, that was quick. The guy was here for a cup of coffee. Didn't even have time to mix in his cream.
I was surprised about that move, but not necessarily too surprised because he hasn't done anything. What
surprised were you after this weekend when you saw him a healthy and active?
Yeah.
The writing was kind of on the wall. You know what I mean? So they kind of jumped the gun on JPP, especially, and they pivoted right away to Melvin Ingram. Like they didn't even wait.
That's a that's a fact too. That's a great point.
You know,
Yeah, man.
so like, I mean, JPP clearly didn't have much gas left in the tank from Fangio's perspective, right? That must have been a big deal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or hey, maybe they were like us and they watched Hard Knocks and they saw how standoffish he was when everyone came in. They're like, Melvin gets along better with everyone. Bring him in. I don't know, but you know, that's the JPP era is already over in Miami.
Finito.
Didn't even
Finito.
start. Talk about tripping at the starting line. All right, tripping over your own shoelaces at the starting line.
Tripping out the blocks, man.
Yeah,
tripping
really.
out the blocks.
Really. All right, let's get into this film. Before we do, what your initial thoughts heading into this film?
Heading into the film, I kind of anticipated just clean execution. I anticipated, you know, just I mean, it has to always boil down to, you know, doing what you've been coached to do, and again, missing Tyreek Hill, missing, you know, 2/3 of the offensive line, having the offensive line rearranged in the second half. You know, and I'm getting into the film, but it's just one of those things where you just want to see clean film. You want to see guys execute, no matter what the circumstance. And I thought that's what I would see, you know, coming into the film, considering how well we played, especially in the first half. You know, we kind of sealed the deal early in this game, so that's what I was anticipating.
All right, let's hop into it for everyone. Let's see how his anticipation stood up here. All right, so we start off here. Dolphins, they start off the game with the football. It's a new thing, you know. We hadn't seen that very much this year. 1st and 10. You got 2 in the gun here. Moser to his left, 1x2 receiver set, 21 personnel for Miami. Cloud 1-3 for the Jets here. It's going to be a screen to the right that Waddle's going to take for 8 yards, you know, and here's the thing. Here's the poor execution starts here for me. And maybe it's because of Jackson's oblique injury. I don't know. But Jackson and Jones, you got to get bodies. AJ looks slow here. You got to get bodies, man. And you watch to the right here. They just don't get their hands on any bodies. And this 8 yards could have been even bigger. I mean, look at it, right? Look at how behind the 8 ball they are already, right? You got 3 guys bearing down on a better angle, and these guys just trying to, like, truck out there. You got to get hands on bodies, man. And
I agree.
So that's where it starts. You know what I mean? With what you're talking about, the execution for me.
Nah, I agree 100%. Rob Jones, you see on his bad view, if you look at his stance and his posturing, and his just overall positioning, he kind of gives the play away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's something that has to be coached. You know what I mean? And shout out to Butch Berry, because he's been handling this, you know, this musical chairs job with the offensive line relatively well. But what I can clearly see that stands out the most when it comes to lack of execution, lack of effort by the offensive line, it's in the screen game. These guys are just not. They're not as intense.
110%. 110%. I noticed our screen game. Even our receivers were whiffing on blocks this game too. Yeah, it wasn't that great. And you know who I thought struggled all game? Lester Cotton, eh? He had some struggles today. Yeah,
let's see. Yeah.
I thought at least. So, anyways, yeah, just slow getting out there. Got to get hands on bodies, man. Just got to get hands on bodies.
And anytime when it comes to the screen game, you have to always have in the back of your mind, allow that first level, which is the defensive line, allow them to gain that depth, and then just, you know, bat out of hell, sprint to that second level guy, and make that seal block and let your guy work. So that's something that has to be coached up by Butch Berry, and I'm pretty sure he watched the film and saw the lack of effort from, you know, Austin Jackson, Rob Jones, Liam Eichenberg on a lot of these screen passes.
Yeah,
they got to get on a horse, man, for real.
Yeah. 2nd and 2 after the 8-yard Waddle screen. 2 is in the pistol. 2 wide receivers split to the left with Julian Hill in line to that side. 21 personnel for Miami on this play. And it's going to be cover 2 press for the New York Jets, but they'll drop to cover 6-4-2 post snap. And 2 is going to fake the handoff. He clearly wants the shot to Cedric Wilson on the corner deep out, but he instantly has 2 free rushers off the left edge in his face because of Jones pulling across to the right and because of the fake. So he got it out to Waddle, who motioned and pivoted back into the flats as an outlet. And you saw there, Waddle got up the left sideline. And a good job here to break that tackle attempt from Reed and get 13 yards up that side to gain the sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Good effort, man.
That was a great play design, and Waddle was cooking early, man. You can clearly see Waddle wanted it this game. He wanted the attempt. He wanted the opportunity, and he made the most of it, each and every last one of them.
Like, you could have ran that out of bounds.
Right.
You could take the high road, not be, I want
playmaker.
50 yards. Yeah.
Playmaker. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Love it.
Shrugging his shoulders. You see it.
You see it. Man, I said he looked like that. He looked like he was back to that 1A, 1B form with Tyreek in this game. You know what I mean? Like, he looked like it.
In my humble opinion, 1B becomes a reality when Tua stops kind of eyeballing Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like as soon as he stops eyeballing and he begins to read defenses, that's when Waddle will become 1B again. Because right now, pretty much this entire year, Tua has, completely poured into Tyreek Hill because he's always open. He's always, and I get it, but at the same time, you not even that there's other mouths to feed. You want to make sure that these other guys are involved so they don't lose focus or interest when their time actually comes up. You know what I mean? So he has to just subtly incorporate, the collage. You know what I mean? Instead of that one trick pony. So, hopefully he gets it together.
2nd and 9 after 1 yard Moser run, 2 in the gun, Moser to his right, 1-by-1 receiver set, 12 personnel for Miami. Quarters on this play for the New York Jets. Wilson Jr. is going to motion, as you just saw there. Tua is going to fake the handoff and deliver an absolute dart of a dime to Waddle on the deep corner here. There's the motion. Look at this, right in the middle of the smack dab in the middle of that triangle coverage. Now, Waddle gets the wind knocked out of him. Yep. Waddle gets the absolute wind knocked out of him here. Massive 23-yard gain to the Jets 30, but all for nothing. Austin Jackson is flagged for holding. If you watch the replay, what you're going to see here from the God view right here, he oversteps right out of his kick slide. He's going to overstep and going to get beat off the snap by Jonathan Franklin Myers. He's going to force the hold. I mean, I think this is the play you can point to on this drive, Martin, where this is what led to us leaving points on the board right here. You already couldn't afford to take these kind of penalties. Now with Waddle off the field for the rest of the drive, it was kind of obvious they were, about to be dead in the water on this one.
Yep. And you can clearly see Ajax was definitely playing hurt.
Yeah.
He was definitely playing hurt.
Slow. He was holding to make up for compensate. Yeah, you can see it. Like, look at him overstep massively. And specifically that play, he's never whiffed on that this entire year. So it's clearly he's overcompensating for something, and it's tough because he's our last he's our last guy. Yeah. We need to stay healthy. Yeah. And Teron Armstead is back, but he's still clearly nursing something. And it's like, man, we're depleted. We're depleted at the offensive line. It's honestly ridiculous, dude. Like, I remember when we were getting Ramsey back, we're like, oh, we were gonna have, you know what I mean? We were gonna have, we thought we were gonna be so healthy, and look at how it's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And even though that play was nullified, that was still a hell of a throw by Tua, man.
It was. And
that thing,
Waddle.
That thing was just flung right into where it needed to be. And
look at the wrist. Look at the wrist.
Look at the flick of the wrist. Look at the flick of the wrist.
Second and 19 after the penalty. 2 is in the gun. Moser to his left. 2-by-1 receiver set. 11 personnel. Chosen is now in for Waddle on this play. New York is in cover 2 robber. Julian Hill's they're gonna motion to the left. It's gonna be a screen to Mostert. It's gonna be a bad throw by Tua, who's backpedaling. Eichenberg absolutely whiffs an open space after Mostert makes the impressive catch, and he's shut down for only a 1-yard gain. Basically, poor execution by everyone on the field, not named Raheem Mostert on this play. And Cotton gets beat too. Like, look at Cotton.
Great point.
Like, Cotton
Great
over
point.
here doing his best ole impression. Cotton gets beat. Eichenberg's good, not good in space. This play was just a disaster. Tua with a bad throw. Look at how, like, ole, Cotton. Look at that. Unbelievable. And look at this. What are you doing, Eichenberg? Like, are you crazy? Like, look at the, like, you can show up better here. Look at the angle Liam Eichenberg takes. Like, what are we saying on this angle, brother? Like, this should be, if you look at the angle, you should square him up so hard right there. Like, it should be bam. Like, look at this. You got him square. What are you doing? What are you doing?
That should be an incline push press for Liam Eichenberg to get a pancake on his resume. But like you said, a clear whiff on that. And you nailed it. You nailed it, right? You need a better ball from Tua. That's number one. Yeah. And Eichenberg needs to make that block. I think the timing was off altogether. Eichenberg needs to do 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi before he goes to linebacker position based off the design of this play. This is a good play call. This is an excellent play call. This is an excellent play design. But everything felt sped up. Everything felt sped up.
Because Cotton's getting beat here, so Tua has to throw off the back foot. He's feeling it, right? So it's a bad throw. Eichenberg whiffs. I mean, and if you don't whiff, go back to this view. Look at the field in front of Raheem if you don't whiff here.
Right. From the hash, from the right hash to the
look at the field right there. If you don't whiff, he can
that's a big play.
Back outside, and he could be gone for all you
know. That's a first down. At least a first down. Yeah. It boils down to execution.
Yeah.
It boils down to execution.
From Tua, Eichenberg, and Cotton on this play, and it affects Raheem's outcome. That's basically how.
But that's still a play for Mike McDaniel to come back to. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you get the same defensive look.
Yeah.
I mean, that could wind up being a 30, 35-yard game, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I concur, sir.
I concur.
All right. So now they gained 1. Whoop-de freaking do. 3rd and 18 after the 1-yard gain by Mostert on the screen. 2 in the gun, Achane to his right. 3-by-1 receiver set. Stack in the left slot. 11 personnel for Miami. Cover 6-4-2 for the Jets. They'll shift to more of a cover 4 look. And Achane's going to motion out to the left on this play. It's going to be another screen. The blocking is decent. Achane shows some burst and vision, gaining 12 of the 18 yards needed, but the Dolphins is off the punt. But the blocking was, I mean, at least a little bit better than what you had just previously seen.
That's a fact. Bottom line,
cake, bro. This 3-game stretch, you got to play physical, not this patty cake bull crap in the screen game. That's for sure.
And that has to be emphasized in the coaching room, man, in the film room. But Achane, special. The issue I have with this play is I believe Cedric Wilson was the key block here that was missed. And you can go back to the field view, right?
Yeah, he whiffed bad.
Check out Seti, right? Seti's all the way at the bottom of the screen, at the field view. And if he just gets his hands you see how kind of nonchalant and it was like, nah, bro, like that's your block. Get up on Reed and get into his chest and let Reed force through. You know, let him be physical through the block. But for him to just allow him to get through there, that allowed Reed to just make that play. You know, right there. Like you feel me? So everything matters, man. All 11, everything matters.
Yeah.
So he whiffed on that one.
Man, we're using that word a little too much in the first 6 plays, eh?
Whiff.
I know, eh? 7-0 after a Jets fumble led to 3 straight runs from inside the New York Jets 2-yard line that Mostert eventually punched in, and it was followed by the Jets turning it over on downs, thanks to a fake punt attempt. So now it's 1st and 10. 2 is in the gun, empty backfield. 2 wide receivers stacked to the left, 2 stacked in the right slot with Claypool out wide right as well. Jets are in quarters. It's going to be a motion by Cedric Wilson. It's a screen to Claypool. He's going to get up that right side for 5 yards. Nice to see him getting involved, man. I want him integrated in this offense, please, God.
Absolutely. I have one major issue with this play, and it's just simply Eichenberg has to learn to get on his horse on these plays. Just get on your horse, man.
Well, look like
sprint to the point of attack.
You see when he gets out, he looks over his shoulder like he doesn't even like he's unsure of himself. Watch.
Exactly.
Watch.
Yeah.
Watch when he gets out. See? Did you see that?
Yeah.
He quickly
doesn't know where to go.
head. Yeah, he's unsure of himself. Watch it go again. Ready? Look, see? I'm trying to catch it better, but let me see if I can catch it. See? He's unsure. He doesn't know where to go. Where do I go? Where do I go? Right? Then he moves his head to the right, and now he's watching the ball carrier. Like
that's a major issue, man. It's an issue because this tape is league-wide available. Yeah. And everyone can clearly see your lack of understanding, your lack of knowing, your lack of effort. And bro, this is we're not in the point in the season where this is acceptable.
Well, the problem is too, right? I mean, I don't know if you heard, but after the game, he went right back into that walking boot too.
The walking boot does not explain the effort, though.
I agree.
I think the effort is
like that explains why he's slow. That'll explain why he's slow. But the effort, I agree. I mean, you can see right here. This isn't about being slow. This is about knowing your assignment. And you can see right here, he looks confused. Like, where do I go? Where do I go? Yeah, I agree. I agree.
It's tough to watch, man.
It is.
So, because everything, like these last 4 plays have been all self-inflicted. Nothing that the Jets are doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and thank God they're not a team that can take advantage of that offensively, right? Right. So
and we're getting into that point right now where we can't afford that.
Exactly. 3rd and 3 after the Claypool catch was followed by 2-yard Achane run. 2 is in the gun. Achane to his left, 2x2 receivers, set 11 personnel for Miami. Cover 1 press for the Jets on this play. Achane's going to motion out to the right. Achane runs a flat route underneath the 2 double slants. I got to talk about this. I love this play call and play design, Martin. I think this is it's 3rd and 3. You want to get the sticks. You know what you're at with your personnel. Guys, this is a very good play call, and the play design is very good too. So watch. Those 2 receivers to the right side, they're going to run both. They're going to run double slants. That's going to draw the defenders from that side of the field. Achane's going to come out underneath. I like this play design, and I'd come back to this because this could be bigger if Achane breaks it, right? So watch this. So Achane runs that flat route underneath. Look at that. I mean, man, if you do the math here, right? If they're not in man and this is more of a zone look and you still have that single high, you could do some serious damage on this play, right? If that linebacker isn't there or the linebacker doesn't have help over the top, holy, you could be cooking if you break that.
Agree.
I just like the design. This is manufacturing space for your running back, your receiving running back, to get the necessary yardage for the first down. I like this play call. I like this play design. I think it's smart, and it's a good call. This is a good call right here.
I agree. And mind you, the Jets are notorious for their open field tackling, so I'm not necessarily disappointed that he couldn't get out of that, and I agree with you. But also, I like to point out that Tua learned from last week's game, because this is similar, not necessarily by position, but by play design, where you have a guy in motion and you can clearly see it's man-on-man coverage. Yeah. And he got the ball out to the guy to get that first down, move the chains to keep the drive alive. He missed Braxton Berrios last week on the drive prior to the last drive of the game that could have sealed the game. So I'm glad Tua's noticing those small things that can be implemented in the next opportunity that comes up, and he learned from it immediately. So I love seeing this.
Agreed. Agreed. All right. So 2nd and 7 after a 3-yard Achane run. Tua is in the gun. Achane is to his right. Waddle split out to the left. Trips bunch to the right. 21 personnel for Miami. Cover 6-2-4 for the Jets. Achane's going to motion out to his left. Then he's going to orbit back to the right. And Tua's going to hit Smythe on the quick stab route after looking off Waddle's angle route. Then quickly looking off Chosen's deep out, enough to flatten the feet of Mosley to open that window for Smythe. This play to me is so quick, subtle, and nuanced. I mean, let's watch this, and I'll break it down frame by frame here. 7-yard gain in the first down, but I want everyone to watch. Okay, you're gonna have Chosen. He's gonna run a deep out of this bunch set. All right, you're gonna have Smythe run a quick stab across the middle and then sit. And then you are going to have Waddle on this left side. He's going to run an angle. So watch to his head, the nuance of to his head, right? You got the orbit right there back from, all right? Okay, look at watching the angle. Now I'm watching that angle, okay? Defenders are watching me, especially the second level defenders. Okay, I'm off that. Now he comes back and look at everyone notices, there's that window for Chosen. So what happened? Look at how flat-footed Mosley is. Mosley can't react. Because Tua just kept them honest. Watch. Mosley. Watch Mosley. Mosley's going to sit where he is right now. Watch Mosley. And we know how good CJ Mosley is, Martin. Watch him. He's not even going to move a hair. Watch. Just sits there. Like, Tua made him flat-footed by the Waddle angle, the Chosen, and then flipping off the Chosen deep out. I mean, that's good stuff to open that window on the stab and get you that first down. Yeah, boom. That is good stuff, baby. That is good, quick, nuanced, so subtle. You got to watch it. You got to watch the head. This is why I tell people, when you watch Tua, watch his head. 1, 2 back to Chosen, then look how quickly he's back to Smythe. Woo! And that's the first down.
And that second read was actually reading 2 players at once when you talk about Chosen back to
because you see Smythe, right? Yeah.
And again, this play design it's rich. It's rich, and you can go pretty much anywhere on this play. Yeah. And if I was Tua, based off the coverage per play design, I'd probably take Achane on this one because he has a manufactured lead blocker right there in front of him, right? In Ingle, right? And you have Chosen already forcing that back half defender stay in that back pedal because he's doing that deep out. Yeah. If you're Tua, we're in the first quarter.
Though, for sure, though.
He wanted the stick, but everything about the first quarter, and I overemphasize this, it's all about easy completion and just moving the football. First down. So in this play in particular, and also reading the coverage consistently. So you just get used to reading the coverage. It becomes second nature. If he keeps reading the coverage how he needs to, Achane will probably be my pick, but I still can't hate on the completion that he had to Durham Smythe because it was a dot. Exactly.
Yeah, what nuanced movements by him to open up that dot. I mean, we know how active CJ Mosley is, and to catch him that flat-footed, that hard, that's good stuff.
I just let you know.
That's a veteran, bro. That ain't no joke right there. You know what I mean? That's a Super Bowl winning linebacker, right? I mean, he won with the Ravens, right? So,
yeah. When did he get drafted? 20.
He won with that Darnell Ellerby. He was on that Darnell Ellerby team, wasn't he?
I don't know. I don't know. I gotta look back.
Oh no, he might.
I remember Ray Lewis.
He wasn't.
Yeah,
he wasn't. Yeah, he was because he was 2014.
Yeah, he was after. Yeah, he was just after.
Yeah, my mistake.
No,
5-time All-Pro.
Certified.
Yeah, he wasn't on that team. All right, so 2nd and 10 after back-to-back 6-yard Achane runs. Robbie Chosen then was flagged for an offensive offsides on the second one. 2 in the gun, Moser to his left, 2 by 1 receiver, set 11 personnel for Miami, cover 6-4-2 for New York. But they'll drop to a cloud 3-1 look. Smythe's going to motion to the left. It's going to be a screen to Mostert, and here he's that word again. Cotton's going to whiff. Cotton absolutely whiffs on his man, but Mostert still makes him miss and manages to get back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. And I thought Durham Smythe did a poor job in space on this play too, right? When we bring it back here. So there's your whiff on Cotton. And then, right, like totally whiffs. And then Mostert makes him look. And then look at this. Like, what is that? Like, what was that, Smythe?
Well, from what I can see, I thought it was actually an excellent play design. And this probably has to be something that they're going to have to look back at down the road. Only because the only thing I think was off on this play was Tua's timing. And obviously it's something that has to be coached, right? You see how Tua held onto the ball, 1, 2, 3, pause, and then ball out, right? I believe if Tua does a 1, 2, 3 ball out, you know what I mean? Instead of 1, 2, 3 pause, ball out, I think those blocks make more sense. You know what I mean? Because everybody's pretty much on their, like, they got a head on the helmet right now. But the only thing is the ball is still in Tua's hand and not in the receiver's hand to make, that foot in the ground up the field, play. So I think Darrell Bevel, Mike McDaniel, that subtle, pause, that subtle delay, which is kind of automatically incorporated in the screenplay. If they cut that out on that play design, I think that could be a big gain as well. So just small things that I kind of saw. I'm like, okay, they might have to readdress that.
I mean, I kind of agree with what Scotty said here. He says Mostert didn't look like he was ready at the bottom of Tua's drop. And I mean, you look at because look where Mostert is at the drop. I mean, he's just starting to turn now to the ball. I mean, I don't know.
But regardless, in anticipatory, as far as quarterback to receiver, by the time he turns his head around, if the ball is floating into his chest,
bro, you're gonna actually excuse this, like this cotton block? Is that where we're at right now? Right now, you're actually excusing this?
No, I'm not excusing the block. I'm just saying the block makes more sense if the ball is in Mostert's hands quicker. You know what I mean? If the ball is in Mostert's hands quicker, he runs off of his butt. You know what I mean? Like right there, he runs right past his butt as soon as he catches that football right there, and then every other block after that kind of makes sense. But it was kind of a delay, in my opinion.
I don't know, bro. That's another example. Look at Cotton. Cotton wouldn't have had him anyways if he got the ball out. Watch him. The hell's he reaching for? What he got to hang? He would have got called for a hold. Is what would happen. That was terrible.
More or less.
He didn't have him squared for an instant. He went out too wide, and then who's this guy cutting on a dime to come back and block? What is this?
At the very least, Cotton had admirable effort from all the other guys I've seen on the screenplay. He at least had admirable effort, but just missed the execution on that play to seal that block.
WHIFF. Another one. So now it's 3rd and 15 after a false start penalty from Mostert. Two is in the gun, empty backfield. 1-by-4 look, but Smythe will motion to the left for a 2-by-3 look with two of the three wide receivers to the right stacked in the slot. Quarters for the Jets. Waddle, he's going to get open on the dig over the middle against zone coverage, and Tua hits him. But they can only get back to the 10. They can only get back 10 yards of the 15 needed. 4th and 5. Dolphins would take a delay a game penalty trying to get the Jets offside and would have to settle for a field goal to make it 10-0.
Not bad. Right read, right throw by Tua. But what stuck out to me in this play is Armstead. He looks hurt.
Oh yeah.
he looks hurt, man.
Yeah.
Sluggish to his drop step. Look disinterested in blocking.
Yeah.
If our offensive line is this beat up, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I know what you want to say.
Game is won and lost in the trenches, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
That's what it always boils down to.
Especially
If
in the
we're hurt
playoffs.
like this, especially in the playoffs, if we're hurt like this, don't blame Tua, please. Please
Yeah.
don't do it.
3rd and 3 now. 2 in the gun. Moser to his left. 1 receiver to the left. Trips bunch to the. Hold on.
Play 11.
Yeah, my bad. Still 10-0 after a Jets punt. 2nd and 8 after a 2-yard Moser run. 2 in the gun. Moser and Julian Hill stacked in the backfield to his left. 1-by-1 receiver set. 12 personnel for Miami. Jets are going to drop to cloud 3-1 on this. And Tua is going to fake the handoff, then take Smythe on the swing route out of the backfield. And he's going to gain just 5 yards up here. Tua is going to actually target this a few times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he went through his initial read, but it was still a perfect read by Tua to get the ball out to Durham Smythe. I kind of put in my notes, we need Brock Bowers.
Yeah, really, eh?
or Luke Lachey, one of the two, man.
Luke Lackey, yeah.
Look, if we can get Luke Lachey from Iowa or miraculously Brock Bowers falls in the draft to us, bruh, that's the type of player you need in that situation. You know what I mean? So, but regardless, right read, right throw, perfect read actually, and moving the football, man. That's all you can ask for.
Yeah. He might come back though because of his injury. I don't know if Luke's gonna come out. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
3rd and 3 now. 2 in the gun. Moser to his left. 1 wide receiver to the left. Trips bunch to the right. 11 personnel for Miami. Cover 0 for the Jets initially, but they'll drop to a cover 3 shell. 2 is going to try and step up into the pocket here as the tackles are going to get pushed back on the yard. Again, Cotton is going to get put on skates from Quinnen Williams, who collapses the interior and gives no space for Tua to step up and away from the outside pressure, and he's going to be sacked for an 8-yard loss. And this is going to force them to have to punt.
Yeah, man. I actually thought the timing was a little off on this play because I think Waddle was supposed to stay under because I think that was an over under concept, and I think Waddle went over the linebacker instead of staying shallow, and that probably disrupted the timing a little bit if you look at it, especially from the guy view right here. Again, the protection wasn't the greatest, clearly, but right there, like I think if Waddle stays underneath and keeps that linebacker honest underneath, that shallow that over hook is probably a play where Tua can make that completion, but it was a little muddy. It was muddled right there, so he just ate the football,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yep. That's tough. That's a tough one right there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so here we go. We go from tough to real good. So it's going to be 1st and 10 after another Jets punt is forced by the Dolphins defense. Tua's under center, 8 chance to single back, 1-by-1 receiver set, 21 personnel for Miami on this play. Cover 2 for the Jets. And Ingold, he's going to motion to the right. Tua's going to fake the handoff and watch Waddle absolutely going to cook Reed as he stems his go route with an inside sell for a dig post and then gets outside leverage and he's gone. Tua drops a dime in stride, 6 points. Beautiful play. 17-0 Miami after the Sanders extra point. Oh boy, what a play. And man,
For sure,
guys aren't slowing down like they were last year with Tua, huh? Dropping them in dime.
let me tell you something. Like our good friend Brian Baldinger would say, he bit the cheese. the safety on the left clearly bit the chosen cheese, and Tua saw it. And I mean, he knew he had a shot, and he didn't hesitate. He took it. Perfect timing, and that ball was on time and in stride. Otis, OTIS, on time in stride, and it fell from heaven. So, I mean, that's the perfect play. That's the perfect play to flip the field, flip the game, and we just made a big play right there, man. Love it.
Love it. 17-0, baby. So now the Dolphins are still up 17-0 after another Jets punt. 2nd and 7 after 3-yard Moser run. 2 is in the pistol. 2 receivers stacked to the left. 1 receiver to the right. 21 personnel for Miami. Cover 1 for the Jets. 2 is going to fake the handoff and move across his body to the right. Smythe's going to come out across the backside and leak out on the shoot while Wilson Jr. off the motion cuts back on the right on the swing. Tua hits the swing for a 3-yard gain.
I'm not a fan of this play, man.
Yeah, they're mine.
I like what they tried to do with Cedric Wilson as far as the motion loop and then flats. But the other routes on that play, I'm surprised that they didn't attempt to, put more pressure on the defensive back to go deep.
You cluster F it instead of spacing.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like, it could have been a better play design, but I mean that's what they put out there. So maybe back to the drawing board on this, but I'm not necessarily a fan of this play.
Yeah, I agree. All right, 3rd and 4 now. 2 is in the gun. We got an empty backfield. We got a 3-by-2 set. Cover 4 for the Jets. 2 is going to hit Waddle on the in route for 8 yards and a first down. Take the sure thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Jets would also be hit with an unnecessary roughness penalty for 15 yards on Tony Adams on this play right there at the end.
I thought that was a little ticky-tack, though, so I didn't necessarily like that.
Well, it's because the whistle had already gone.
Yeah.
Right? Forward progress has been stopped and the whistle's gone. You came in after the whistle. That's why they called that.
Yeah.
Late after the whistle, like pretty late after.
Still, I know for sure, but I still think it's ticky tack. I didn't necessarily like the flag on that. But regardless, right read, right throw, and reason. You know how I feel about that wheel route. obviously wasn't necessary on that play, but I always like that wheel route against anybody, anytime, any down, any distance. I would take it. I would take it regardless, man. I don't even care. You see Cedric Wilson at the top of the screen right there.
Yeah, he takes it. Yeah,
does the wheel route right, man? Like no different than the Kansas City game. I think Cedric Wilson adjusts extremely well to when the ball is in his vicinity in the air. Jump man. I think we can give him those opportunities.
Jump man. All right. 2nd and 6 after a 4-yard Mostert run. 2 is in the gun. Mostert to his left, 1-by-2 receiver set, 11 personnel. It's a cloud 3-1 look for the Jets. 2 is going to fake the handoff, then fire an absolute, as I call it, rocket dime that hits Waddle in the hands in tight coverage, but he can't hold on to it. Bad drop. This was a 9-yard gain and the first down. These concepts drops continue to hinder Waddle even in games where he's big time like he was weak, man. You gotta haul this in, brother. Gotta complete that pass.
It's more of a confidence thing now with Jalen Waddle of not allowing himself to get into his own head and just naturally being a hands catcher. Clearly, perfect read by Tua, and it was a difficult catch because he extended, but it hit your hands, brother. Bring that thing in. Reel that thing in, man.
Yeah.
You're a professional. You can do it.
Yeah. Reel it in like the biggest bass on the lake you've been fishing in, bro. Let's go.
All
right. Who's ready for a little Braxton butt dime? So 3rd and 6 after the Waddle drop. 2 is in the gun. Moser to his left. 1 receiver split out to the left. 2 receivers stacked to the right slot. 1 split out wide right. 11 personnel for Miami. Jets are in cover 1 press on this play. The in route from Smythe here on this play, if you watch on the bottom of your screen here, it's going to clear out underneath Berrios on the out route towards the sideline, and Tua puts it up for Berrios' outside shoulder. He leaps and makes a grab, landing in bounds before he rolls out for a 12-yard gain and a first down. What a play. I mean, look at this. Watch where Tua throws it, okay? I'm going to show people. Look where Tua releases this. Berrios is just about to make his break. Hasn't even turned his head yet when he releases this. Watch this, where Berrios is. Look. Look at where that ball, where he's throwing that ball is already out. And look where it go. Boom. Right on the money.
Big time. And again, back-to-back plays where Tua made the perfect read, perfect throw. And I'll tell you what, man, what a haul in
Yeah.
by Braxton Berrios right there, man.
Yeah.
Big time play by Braxton. And we have to get Braxton more involved in the passing game. I know you completely adore Tyreek Hill. I know you love getting Jalen his touches. But Braxton Berrios is one of those sure things when it comes to intermediate, quick screen. And if we can, bro, I think we can catch somebody sleeping. Braxton going deep. We got to get him more involved, man. You know what I mean? So, however Darrell Belva has to, make it make sense for Tua, he has to break through and tell Tua, hey, man.
Remember, we had
you got other guys.
We had him streaking on that last play of the game against the Titans. But Tua got happy feet in the pocket, right?
Didn't trust it.
Yeah. 1st and 10, 2 in the gun, 3x2 receiver set, empty backfield. Dolphins in cover 4. Tua makes a dangerous throw to Cedric Wilson here on this out route, and it's because of the pre-snap cushion. But he's baited as Quincy Williams just undercuts it and almost comes away with the pick. See, what I didn't like, the last play quickened their order of operations, and this whole play felt rushed to get it off. So the Bears play wasn't challenged, and it almost caught them. Because I like here on this, just off the pre-snap read here, and the cushion got up top. I mean, Berrios on the drag or Smythe up the seam. You have, okay, if that safety doesn't take that seam over top of that seam and he's running with a linebacker, I got that one-on-one shot in the seam, or I got Berrios on the drag here to my open side. I think he just made it difficult. He believed in that cushion a little too much and he was baited.
I think more than the cushion, he just believed in the matchup. Cedric Wilson against a linebacker, let's do it. So I understood the thought process here. So the matchup made sense, but it was just well read by Quincy Williams. He knew exactly what was about to happen. He did not hesitate like a pro. He just bit the route and he made the play on the football. So that was a better play by the defense than it was on the offense.
And this
as far as matchups and reads.
Right?
Saw Jackson wave himself out like he waved himself out, and that was it for Jackson, man. That's tough, bro. I am for real. If this keeps happening to our offensive line, I mean, just decimated.
No team can overcome that. I mean, look what happened.
I don't know
what happened to Mahomes in the Super Bowl against the Bucks. Remember, he ran for over 200 yards behind the line of scrimmage. They
just scrambling.
Calculated it. They actually calculated it. His time under pressure that game was 4.14 seconds. That's how much his time to throw on pressure throws was 4.14 seconds. That's how much Mahomes was running for his life that game.
And we all know Tua doesn't have 1/8 of the scramble ability and instinct of a Patrick Mahomes, which just lets you know how important and vital it is.
Well, think about this.
For our offensive line to get healthy.
How many sacks over the last couple of weeks has Tua avoided just by the way he's maneuvered and stepped up in the pocket?
That's just pure pocket presence and instinct by Tua, which we have to acknowledge.
I'm saying it could be a lot worse, is what I'm saying.
That right. Very true. Very true. But the offensive line still needs to. They need to,
there's no excuse.
whatever Wolverine be on, man, they need to rejuvenate and regenerate quickly because we're in that stretch now.
Someone get them that Ray Lewis deer antler spray, right? Right? We need that deer antler spray. We need it by the bucket over here. They gotta take baths in this crap. Let's go.
And get fined at the end of the season. We don't care.
Yeah, we'll take it. It means Lombardi. I don't give a crap.
Exactly.
3rd and 7 after a 3-yard Achane run. 2 in the gun. Achane to his right. 2 wide receivers stacked to the left. 2 split to the right. 11 personnel for Miami. New York Jets are in cover 6. Waddle's going to motion to the left. He's going to make it a 3-by-1 set here. 2 is going to hit Waddle on the dig for a big 19-yard gain to the Jets' 13-yard line. Watch this. Ashton Davis, he's going to roll up into the box and open the window. And it's a good ID by Tua on this play, I thought. He noticed Ashton Davis roll right there into the box. See, Ashton Davis crept up, freed up that on boom. Good ID by Tua. Good throw, right on the money. Good play by Waddle. That's man. Don't tell me this man don't process defenses. Are you crazy?
He does
right now?
He does, and he read it perfectly. It was the right read, right throw.
Jeez.
Tua eyed the key defensive player that he had to read on this play, and he made the proper throw. And I'll tell you this, Ashton Davis, if he went with Jalen Waddle, I don't know if you noticed this on the field view, but the design, it kind of did an authentic rub by Julian Hill to free up Braxton Berrios on my favorite route,
the wheel.
On the wheel route.
Yep.
Over the top, if Ashton Davis would have went with Jalen Waddle, that's a touchdown.
Shot. Yeah, he had the
that's
shot.
A touchdown.
Good play design.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the curl flat defender Ashton Davis went with Waddle, but if he did, or if he went with Waddle, he didn't go with Waddle. If he went with Waddle,
Tua had the
Braxton over the top touchdown.
Yeah.
But hey, we still got the completion, big play, first down, led to a score.
Well, he made the right throw based on how he on the coverage read. You can't
100%.
Right.
It wasn't a knock at all. Tua made the perfect read, right throw.
In case someone tries to break this down and say, "Oh, he had the wheel." No, he read the defender. He made the right read perfectly based off what the coverage showed him. Right.
Perfectly.
People try to use hindsight to make it look like they know what they're talking about, right? 24-0 after a 12-yard Mozart run was followed up by a 1-yard Mozart run for a touchdown after that big Waddle gain we just watched. And then the Jets punt before the end of the second half. So this is Miami's first drive to start the second half after the Jets opened the third quarter with, you guessed it, another punt. Guys, over 300 of you in the room, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. So now it's 2nd and 13 after Mozart lost 3 yards on a rush. Two is under center. Mozart's a single back. 1-by-1 receiver set. 21 personnel for Miami. Cover 6-4-2 for New York. Julian Hill, he's going to motion to the right on this play. Two is going to fake the toss. Cotton doesn't square up Quinnen Williams again, who bowls through the A gap. Forces Tua up. Bryce Huff gets off Smythe's block, and he takes Tua down for the sack, 5-yard loss. So, again, you watch it here. Look at that A gap gets given, and then Bryce Huff. I mean, what do you do? Tua just had to take the sack there.
That was tough. It was just well covered, to be honest. All in all, it was well covered. The blocking was a little muddled with the assignment. And technically, not to put too much blame on our veteran, man, but this one has to be on Armstead at this point. Well, when you look at the guy view on that, per the defensive line adjustment right there, you saw Lester got the guy. Okay, Teron, he got the guy that you were supposed to block. Who else is open? Who else is free? And his back is turned to the guy that's coming right for him. So, it's just something where he just missed the adjustment on the fly. Missed by Armstead, but well covered nonetheless.
Yep. 3rd and 18 now. 2 in the gun. Achane to his right. 3 wide receivers to the left with a stack in the slot. 1 receiver split to the right. 11 personnel. Jets are in cover 6-4-2. Achane's going to motion to the left. It's going to be a screen here as Achane. He's going to get a little seam. He does a damn good job of keeping his balance, and he fights hard for 13 yards. Look at the balance, man. Just unbelievable balance from Achane. Just unbelievable stuff.
I love Achane's effort, but clearly what stood out to me on this play, Durham Smythe got rolled up on bad, and this is a direct cause of Eichenberg's effort. Look at Eichenberg's effort off the line of scrimmage to the block that he was supposed to make on Quinnen Williams. Bro, just be a dog with him right there, man. He kind of allowed...
He's playing patty cake.
He's playing patty cake. Yeah. He allowed Quinnen Williams to ride his hip whole time, and it almost cost us Durham Smythe, who was one of our better blocking exterior players on the offensive line at tight end. Bro, everything matters, man. Don't feel the need to take a play off Eichenberg. you matter. You're on the field. You're there.
Can I just say
Man,
this?
go balls out.
Richie, we've already
Mhm.
covered this. Calf injury has nothing to do with effort. That will slow
Not
you
at all.
down. That'll impact your feet and your speed, sure. But this is an effort play we're talking about here. This
Right.
is not
Right.
good effort.
Right.
Anyways, continue.
No, that's just about it, man. I need Eichenberg to just ball, like
He's
just
using one
get him
hand. Like
right.
you think you're gonna keep off Quinnen Williams with one hand? Who are you, Liam? Look at this. Who are you?
Even if it was Connor Williams, he's not putting one hand on Quinnen Williams. You know,
No.
like we have to be mindful of who we're going up against and know the level of intensity that you have to have against a player like that. So that's another miss by Lee, man. He has to play better.
Him and Cotton really struggled this week. You know what I mean?
I agree.
And, it was clearly evident. You know, Armstead, he struggled. You know, some of Liam's struggles were, I mean, when he's getting out into space, clearly he's slower because of his calf injury. But a lot of effort, struggles for Cotton and Liam Eichenberg. You can see the effort is there with Armstead, but it's just the injuries are clearly slowing him down and hampering him right now.
Absolutely.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, how many times have you pointed out already? It's clear that Armstead's hurt, you know? 4th and 5, even on plays where he's not getting beat, you're pointing it out because it's evident, right? 4th and 5, Miami is going for two. Yeah, exactly. And what, you know, and if that was just Eichenberg's issue, just sluggish and slow, cool, we would say it's the calf, but you know, we're seeing like one hand on the guy. Come on. And on an all-pro too. It's not like it's some jabroni who just was packing shelves in Walmart last week that the Jets needed to fill in. You know, we're talking about like an all-pro here. Like, what is going on?
For real.
4th and 5, and it goes back to what you said. No way Connor's putting one hand on him, and Connor's a much better center than Liam Eichenberg will ever be. So 4th and 5, Miami's going for it. 2 in the gun, Achane to his left, trips bunch to the left, one receiver to the right, 11 receiver to the right, 11 personnel. Jets are going to go from a cloud 3-1 look on this to cover 1. Barrows is going to motion to the right. Waddle's going to use a shoulder shake while stemming his route. 2 is going to hit him across the middle of the field over an overstretch Quincy Williams. Oh, look at that. He got caught flat-footed for a 20-yard catch and run. Great effort after the catch to get up the right sideline and make a few men miss by Jalen Waddle. But again, you know, this is the second time this game where we've seen he's stemming that route with that shoulder shake, eh? You know, like a little shoulder, whoop, and then right over that middle. What a throw.
Yeah.
Got him. And look at, he caught, look at, again, you know, Tua using his eyes, catching it. Look at, false step, a little false. All it took, Martin, a slight false step to the left, right there. One little slight false step into his. I gotcha. Whoa, look at that. Holy! I mean, like, don't tell me this man don't read defenses, you numbskulls. Look at this. Like, look at this. Absolutely incredible. Like, look at, you're gonna use his eyes and his head to manipulate. And boom, just enough. Look at that. Just a keyhole window is enough for Tua.
What a play. Big play, clutch play, 4th down.
Yep.
Pinpoint pass. Pinpoint throw right in his chest and gave him the opportunity to make a run after the catch.
Love it.
No, you can't draw it up any better, man. Love it.
Guys, over 305 of you in the room. Smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. 3rd and 8 from the Jets 9. After 3 runs and an encroachment call against the Jets, 2 in the gun, Moser to his right, trips bunch to the left, 1 wide receiver to the right, 21 personnel, cover 6, 4-2 for the Jets. Coverage is going to be really good, actually, downfield here. So Tua is going to throw the wheel, there you go, to Jeff Wilson out of the backfield towards the back pylon. He's clearly interfered with here. I mean, what the hell is that? No call, falls incomplete. Dolphins settle for a field goal, make it 27-0. Watch this. Okay, guys, Liam Eichenberg. Now, I can maybe put this on his cap a little bit more because his anchor is even worse than it normally is. Eichenberg gets demolished by Quinnen Williams here. Look at, get out of here. Look at that. You see that? Did you see that?
Wow.
Did you see how that quickly he swim and swatted, eh? That's like a swim swat. You swim, swat the hand. Look at this. Look at this. Swim swat. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's a heck of a play by Quentin Williams, to be honest, bro.
He was back there in an instant. Look at
That's a heck of a play by Quentin Williams.
Again, watch Quinnen. He's gonna swim right there and then right through. Look at that. Swim and swap, baby. And then I don't know how that's not a PI, bro. What are we talking about right now?
Well, and I agree with you to an extent, but put it like this, right?
What is this?
Right.
What is this?
My issue with this is why is he backpedaling? I'm talking about the receiver, right?
Yeah.
So this, in my opinion, this always will. And I don't know
if you run through it like this, you're good, right?
And again, I think this will always boil down to personnel, right?
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel, you put Achane in that situation if you call this type of play.
Yeah.
Because he's a much better receiving threat out of the backfield. Or even Mostert, right?
Yeah.
And if anyone can recall last year's game in San Francisco, Jeff Wilson on a similar wheel route, same circumstance, same outcome. Jeff Wilson is not a deep threat out of the backfield. That's not what he does. A quick flat, an angle in, sure, he got you. But this wheel route, that's not his thing. Get him out of there. You know, the personnel was what held him up on that play. But even beyond that, I want to say that Tua has to be equally aware of the back half coverage, right? The back seven. What's the coverage? Cloud 42, right? Cover 6, 42 on the goal line. If you look at the cover 2 side to the right, who do you have? You have Braxton Berrios, right? Deep out. If you keep your eyes on the flat defender, which I believe is Sauce Gardner, who was holding up Sauce Gardner? And if he's held up, what ball should you throw? I think the deep out was the play on this coverage. It's a coverage beater. But again, Tua's eyes were on the left side instead of the cover 2 side, which is the right side.
He's probably thinking you're most of the time
the strength by numbers.
Bunch. Yeah,
exactly.
Strength
by numbers, but equally, I think the route concept is just as important as strength by numbers.
Yeah, I agree.
And if the route concept dictates that the coverage is saying that deep out to the right should be open on this, on this particular coverage, hey man, forget about the bunch is dead now. All right, what does he look like? Boom, got him. And again, the read was Sauce Gardner at the flat, and he was kind of held up right there at the line of scrimmage. So it was an opportunity.
Did you see how Tua took the hit from Quinnen Williams? Watch this. Tua jiu-jitsu at work here. Watch. Takes it. Watch Duxton. Look at him roll. See how he rolls?
Yes, sir.
Tua jiu-jitsu. Look at that. Takes the hit, and then he rolls, baby. Tuck and roll. Jiu-jitsu.
Bro, I love that, man. I love seeing the hard work pay off. And guys, not to elongate this, but this is the 14th game where Tua ended injury free. We cannot undermine that, man. This was our biggest issue. Right. This was our greatest issue coming into the season. Can Tua stay healthy? I haven't heard one peep of that for the last 8 weeks because he's just been doing what he's been doing. Love the coat of armor he put on with the weight. Love the arm sleeve tattoo. Love the new helmet. Love the jiu-jitsu training. All of that has equated into what he is right now. But we got to appreciate it, man. We got to be grateful about this, man. So, bless up, man. Hopefully he stays healthy with us.
3rd and 4 after Brandon Jones. INT got Miami the ball back, and they start the drive with 2 straight Mostert runs. 1 for 4 yards, 1 for 2 yards. 2 is in the gun, empty backfield. 2x3 receiver set for Miami. Jets are going to rotate to cover 6-4, 2-4 to quarters. 2 is going to take Smythe here on the shoot route for the first down and a nice 9-yard gain. We saw this earlier. Nice quick conversion to move the sticks. We saw him utilize this shoot earlier. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. Hey, get those sticks, baby. Get those sticks.
Bottom line, it was the right read, right throw, per down and distance situation. So loved every bit of this play. Execution.
Get those sticks, and I ain't talking mozzarella. All right. 2nd and 12 right now.
Boom.
After Achane lost 2 yards on a run. Tua's in the pistol now with Achane. 2 wide receivers split wide to the left. 12 personnel for Miami. Cover 6-4-2 for the Jets here. Cedric Wilson Jr. is going to motion inside. Tua's going to fake the handoff. He's going to have the corner to Craycraft or the drag to Smythe, but pressure is going to bear down, so he pumps them off, forces Tua to take Cedric Wilson in the flats for a 1-yard loss. You can see what he wanted to do here, but the pressure here forced him to look him off, right? He wanted one of those 2 routes.
And I think this kind of comes into question. Can we keep rolling Tua out like this if the pressure is becoming that in these type of plays? Because that deep out by River Craycraft, bro,
all day. Yeah.
All day.
You want him to sit, set his feet and fire. You don't want him.
Exactly.
I don't want him on the move making that throw.
And you see Reed at cornerback. He was the most indecisive he's been all game. He didn't know where to go. He glitched at cornerback on that play, and you knew exactly what could have happened if he had a little another 1 second of time to set his feet and make that throw. So maybe we have to start incorporating getting out of that half roll.
Yeah, it's
for Tua.
Literally, it's very similar to what we ran earlier. We just flipped it.
Exactly, right? Man. And if you're gonna roll Tua, make him roll into another pocket, not necessarily keep him rolling. You know what I mean? Allow him to set his feet, because when his feet are set, the ball is way more accurate. Mm-hmm. So
I agree. So 1-yard loss. Play didn't work twice today. So hey. Scrap it.
Something to right.
3rd and 13. To the trash bin it goes. 3rd and 13. 2 in the gun. Achane to his right. 1 wide receiver to the left. 2 stacked to the right. 11 personnel. Cover 2 robber for the Jets on this. Cedric Wilson Jr. is going to motion to the right. Smythe's going to chip and leak out on a shoot that again Tua is going to take for 11 yards. Now Waddle is gone on the post here, but the protection's just not solid enough. Look at the protection's just not. He doesn't trust it. That's why you can tell he's collapsing. Waddle is gone on the post, and Tua doesn't trust the collapse in the middle. He sees it. He sees Lamb struggling. He sees the middle of his line already struggling because his eyes are on it, and he sees the safety over top. But as soon as he goes, look at, because he was going to cock back there. Watch his feet and his shoulders. Look, he's going to cock back on that because he sees the safety pulling. But what's happened? The plane's been broken. The pocket's been penetrated. There are players past the white line. And I don't mean the white line on the field. I mean the white line of Dolphin jerseys. Look, the pass. And he got to check it out. Oh, missed one.
It's a missed post.
It's true because Tua didn't trust that safety. That safety moved a little too late after he got to the top of his drop, right? Because at the top, safety just starts to move, and
I'm glad you spotted that post, because that's something that I just saw just now. But you already know me, man. I said it about 2-3 times already. My favorite route is that wheel route. And look at Seti. Sed's coming across the line of scrimmage on the motion. Boom, that wheel route right there. I'm telling you right now, that has to be a back shoulder throw per down in distance, right? Yeah. 3rd down, right? If you have a situation where you have to hold onto the football for that post route, but clearly the white line up front, your offensive lineman, there's leakage, man. If you got that wheel route, just back shoulder, right there, man. There's enough room for him to make a play on that football.
You got enough. You got enough space there where you can dart that over his shoulder and just let him run underneath it instead of hanging it up and giving the safety time. Just dart.
Exactly.
That, you know what I mean?
Back shoulder all day. And again, if he had the time, Ryan, I'm glad you spotted it. I'm taking that post. If he has the time,
that's what he wanted. You can tell. Look I mean, we've been watching Tua for how long, right? And I've been watching all the reps in the All-22 since Bama. You can tell by his body language. He wanted that so bad. When you watch his feet and shoulders, right here, I'm sorry, I had it frozen earlier better. But right Here, he's getting set.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
throw. He's
Off
getting
his back
set
foot.
to launch that. Yeah.
And again, but this comes down to what Mike McDaniel has always explained to have a contingency, right? Yes, you want to go to that, but look at your protection. It's crumbling. So you already know, okay, that one's dead. Where else? And as soon as he's seen that room, and it was still enough room and enough space, man, get in that back shoulder, man, give him an opportunity. But that's still a good check down to Durham Smythe under duress. So I accept it regardless. But man, he completely missed my wheel route. He completely missed my wheel route. That's an underrated route, man. That route can work on against almost any coverage. So gotta find it.
1st and 20 after Achane converted the 4th down with a 4-yard run. Then Mostert followed up with 2 straight runs, 1 for 18 and then 1 for 13 that was nullified by a Julian Hill hold. 2 is in the pistol. 1 wide receiver to the left, 2 to the right, 11 personnel for Miami. The Jets will shift from cover 6-2-4 to quarters. Waddle's going to motion outright, and it's a screen to him that's going to be shut down for a loss of a yard.
Mm-hmm.
And Eichenberg, where art thou?
Yep. And more so, I just think that was just a great effort by Jermaine Johnson, man. The defensive end right here, great effort and just great open field tackle. They got some look. The Jets are one of the best defense in the league for a reason, bro. They got players. Bro. Like, golly. And I'm glad we went up against a team like this so we can see how good we can actually be when we execute. You know what I mean? Because these guys are actually really good. So putting up these type of points against a team like this, man, you can't ask for nothing more, man.
Yeah, agreed. All right, 3rd and 11. After a 10-yard Achane run, 2 in the gun, Berrios is going to motion into the backfield. Achane and Berrios are basically going to switch here. Berrios is going to motion into the backfield to his left, and Achane is going to take his place in the wide receiver set as it's a 3-by-1 look, 11 personnel for Miami. Cover 4 red zone look for the Jets. Lamb on the left tackle here, the right tackle, who's in for Austin Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Kendall Lamb is going to be, put on his heels into his lap. And then you watch Solomon Thomas. He's going to spin off Eichenberg to sack Tua for a 2-yard loss. Line was an absolute disaster, I thought, on this play. Sanders would make it 30-0 on the next play. But, yeah, the line just got beat really badly on this play.
I agree. I guarantee you he needed the time to hit up that double move by either Braxton or Achane. But regardless, knowing that you don't have the time, the contingency matters. I think Cedric Wilson should have gotten that football per the offensive line, not necessarily blocking how you would like them to block. Cedric was there in the middle of the field, right there on that quick hook. Boom, just put in his chest. Put in his chest. If he does that, all is forgiven with the offensive line. But again, I think Tua wants the big play. He wants the touchdown. Yeah. I get it, man. I get that Tua wants to be great. I get he wants to impact the game in a positive way, but always take what they give you. You can never go broke taking that profit. Trust me. And it will be a completion. So, yeah, man, still room, man. He, as good as Tua's been, we can all clearly see there's still room for him to develop, which is insane to say, considering how good he's been as far as the league. So that just lets you know.
1 minute, final thoughts on the tape after you came away from it. I know you said you went in expecting execution. How'd you come out of it?
I think they executed. Again, missing Tyreek Hill is big. I think there was a hesitation early on, sloppy play early on, whiffs early on. But all in all, man, great game. I think it was a great game. They did exactly what they were supposed to do against a top-rated defense. I loved it. And I also equally love that Mike McDaniel has learned not to be, not to fall prey to a narrative that Tyreek Hill is your offense. That's not what this is. It's a well-oiled machine, and whoever's next up is next up, and we keep going. The train keeps rolling. So I love it, man.
Man, I mean, what a man. Now I thought the game plan was good. You masked out an offensive line, your deficiencies there. You were getting the ball, and at points we're making an extension of the run game because, I mean, again, we did all this, and the run game really didn't get going this week, right? I mean, we did this against the number 2 pass defense in the NFL, did a good job of drawing the defenders up with the short game, and that allowed you to create windows to hit them past the sticks and over top on the Waddle throw. So I thought it was good stuff, man. And now we're going to see what we got this week against the Dallas Cowboys. So I'll be live tomorrow, everyone, around 7:45 p.m. Eastern with Richmond Webb and Mr. Ballgame. After a 2-week hiatus, the finish line is back. Then I'll be live on Thursday with Neil Driscoll for Fin Too Deep. Then we'll be live on Friday, and we'll preview this game. That Friday show, guys, is going to be a day show because I won't be around in the evening. So, and then, hey, Christmas Eve, you know where to come. Inside the NFL for the live reaction. Anyways, smash that like button on the way out. Subscribe if you're new. We had over 300 people today. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Love y'all. Smash that like button, and we will see y'all on the next one. Fins up, everyone.